Here's to you, dear listeners, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Metal Gear Monday's Revengeance. Believe it or not a Hideo Kojima podcast. I'm your host, Cole Duncan. It's good to be back. It's good to talk to you again. We're all actually glad to talk to you, and by all of us, I mean all of us hosts here across from me on the digital table. It's my buddy Chris Hampton. How are you, buddy?
You know, can't complain. Nobody's going to listen to me.
No, that's very right. I'm sure shit I'm not going to, but actually, no, I'll listen to you anytime you want to talk to me, man. I'm here for you.
Well, thank you, buddy.
And for someone who will actually listen to, Miss Tori Cortez, how are you?
What's up? I'm just here for that crispy spritz.
Ooh, the crispy spritz. It's good. It's good.
Are you spritzing?
I mean, I did. I personally did. I've got a clearly Canadian over here. I'm just enjoying it.
Lovely.
That's what the people want to hear. That's what the people want to hear. But anyway, welcome back. Like I said, we're starting Metal Gear. We're starting Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Like I said in the, I believe, 00, if you're looking for a strategy guide podcast, this isn't going to be it. We are going to be talking about gameplay. We are going to be talking about story, obviously. But basically, we're not going to just go through okay, if you wanted to get this, you got to go here. And if you wanted to get the special, like, night vision goggles, you got to go here. We've done that before. This whole podcast has done that before.
Yeah, I think it's more like, you know, when you were playing these games in high school or whatever, and you met up with your friends before class started, and you would talk about it. You know?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just all of us kind of, you know, reminiscing on like how we played all of these games and what they maybe said to us, or maybe something that we found cool in the games.
Yeah.
That being said, we are starting from the furthest back chronologically, and we are going to be making our way all the way up to the present, or actually, I guess now past.
We're going to try to make sense of this damn timeline.
Yeah, we are. We're going to do our best. We're absolutely going to do our best. But you're going to hear in this episode is we are basically going to break up the Virtuous Mission. That's what we're going to be talking about today, is just the Virtuous Mission. So we'll be kind of talking about, you know, the story and, you know, what's going on with it, and then the actual gameplay after that. So that's going to be more of our time for more meta speak, how the game actually makes you play it, that kind of thing. But right here at the top, I believe, Chris, you had something you wanted to put out here?
Oh, yeah. I just want to give a huge shout out. I don't know if any of you noticed a step up in the quality from when I was doing some of the editing, but Matt Schumacher is our extremely genius editor. He's an extremely talented musician here in Nashville, and he knows his way around a soundboard. So I want to say thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much,
work.
Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Really, really, thank you so much. It all sounds amazing.
Cole, did you also have something that you would like to say?
Yeah.
How did I know that? How did I? Is it because we've been friends for almost a decade now?
You actually have like telekinesis, like you can fully like read my mind.
I'm physically attached to you. Like I just have this like fleshy appendage going all the way to Chattanooga.
All the way. Yeah, I just want to as well give a quick shout out to Sean Wilkins. Sean has been one of the coolest people I've gotten to meet. I definitely called him from my hometown a little inebriated after a wedding the other night, just to kind of thank him and talk to him. Thank you for being as cool as you have been. I thank you again for, you know, all the amazing work that you've done as far as all the art for the show. And when all this is over, I cannot wait to see you and Eric again, my man.
And this is just part of the community that you could become a member of. Cole will drunk dial you if you become a Patreon.
Yeah, I'll fully drunk dial you, absolutely. But no, like, shouts out to Sean for being as cool as human possibly can be. He's just a really awesome guy to talk to and hang out with. That being said, I think that about does it for housekeeping. Tori, anything else you got up here at the top?
I mean, since we're all doing shouts out, I want to shout out my little brother Dom. My other brother Chase already got one, so.
Yeah, I mean, get him out.
So yeah, Dom, what's up? I'm sorry that I
Shouts
had to
out.
steal the PlayStation 2 back, so you can't play along with me. But I hope this makes up for it.
Wait. Are you telling me, Tori, that you're playing through Metal Gear Solid 3 on the PlayStation 2?
I sure am.
Which version of the
legit.
game are you playing?
Oh, you know it's Subsistence.
Okay. Because I was wondering if you were suffering through that awful camera from the
No.
original release.
No.
I mean, I won't say it's awful. There are
wasn't
times
great.
it's really cool, and there are times that it's not great.
I can't.
Not great,
I
yeah.
can't. I don't have the patience. Yeah. I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I did, but I do not.
Yeah.
Shouts out to you, Dom. Thanks for letting Tori steal the PS2. Because now, let's get into this, guys. We're starting out at the top of the Halo jump. We are in the plane,
The tippy top where we are smoking a stogie.
smoking a stove. I like in this portion they take the time to give you basically a rough history lesson on the Cold War.
Yeah. I read this comment on the internet once, and I forget where, but someone described, it was like, I think a Reddit blog. It was a Reddit post where they're like, summarize a game in one sentence. And someone summarized Metal Gear Solid 3 as middle-aged Asian man writes fan fiction about the Cold War.
But where's the lie? Where's the lie?
No, and it's delightful. And I feel like when I play this game, I feel like the people who made it had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sure. I mean, I give it hell for,
Yeah.
I know when the Cold War occurred and I know what happened in it, but hell, if someone gave me the opportunity, like, hey, do you want to do some like fun revisionist history that has absolutely no recourse ever? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, sign me up. Let's go.
You mean Cole, the history nerd, would be interested in doing something like that?
Yeah. Throw me in there like with the Philosopher's Legacy. I was really into like World War I stuff. I would love to go back. Like, oh shit, actually, it all started with this one like friend's troop out of England, and like they were at the Marne, and like I'd get weird with it. I get really weird. But anyway, we're in the 60s. We're not in the 20s or the teens.
Mm-mm.
And we're talking about the first Halo jump. So Halo, for those not in the know, is high altitude, low opening. It's meant to kind of stay under the radar
Yes.
of enemy intelligence or actual radar. It's not, I don't think it's a common thing that occurs in current military actions. Because believe it or not, I've never been in the military. I know. That's shocking. But I've never actually been in the military. Usually, I defer all these questions to Zach James.
Yeah.
But he's not here to defend himself right now. Fuck you, Narc Boy.
So I did some cursory research.
Thank God.
Yeah. And
Oh my god.
what I remember is that the Halo jump has been replaced by a more advanced technology now.
Really?
Yes. Because,
Okay.
I mean, think about it. Like back then, you look at the intro of this game, right? You're in a propeller plane, like a B.
Yeah.
Was it a B-12 bomber?
I don't know.
It was one of those like
the
flying fortress models for sure.
right. I don't know if it's the B-12 because the entire back of the plane opens up. It's not like hey, we've got a side door for you to take the chute out. Like he does a full on. Can we talk about how mental it is? Like what he does when he jumps out. There's a lot that goes on before that. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but
Yeah. How should we start this? We're kind of like hacking into it with a knife. Should we?
I mean, there's no real. We're getting Major Zero is just basically talking to us about what we're about to do, and Snake is being a petulant child by smoking, and this guy's like, "Is this Greenhorn? Is he even going to be able to do this?"
Does this Pennywise know what he's doing?
Yeah. He's like, "Are you deaf? Put out your cigar. Put your mask on." He's like chastising him like a child.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, like, don't have a lit like cigar next to more than likely an open like tube of oxygen. That's just asking for trouble.
Well, and also like, this is like a situation where they're depressurizing this cargo hold, right?
I don't know if it was pressurized in the first place.
I think it would be given how high up they are, you
Yeah.
know?
I think I remember the depressurization comment coming up from Major Zero.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That makes me feel a lot better about that, because I was thinking to myself, because like Major Zero in that moment is wearing basically like an old flight jacket that when they weren't able to like pressurize a cabin, when we didn't have that kind of technology yet, like in the 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, Major Zero's wearing like that and a bomber jacket over top of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
well, that's what I was referring
the
to.
leather bomber with the fur collar because it's
yeah,
cold.
like the Sherpa type stuff going on.
Yeah, they say it's like minus 54 degrees Celsius.
Just freezing.
What is that in American?
In American, let's see, minus 54 Celsius. I know this is amazing. Let's see.
That's negative 65 degrees.
Good
Jesus
God.
Christ.
So it's a little chilly. Chilly, Snake.
At a certain point, it all starts to feel the same, I would assume.
Like everything, the whole body, all of it.
Yeah. You stop feeling cold at a certain point. It's just all the same cold.
Yeah. So Snake is sitting up here in this airplane that is negative 65 degrees, smoking a cigar. Like, you got to think this is a cargo military. It's metal, probably not comfortable. And that metal is probably cold as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he looks cozy as hell. He's just like, whatever, I'm fucking here. Let's do this, I guess.
Whatever, dude.
So we've established, like, this guy is a badass. Right?
For sure.
Is that
I mean,
for sure. No, Cole,
He's
what are you
like-
talking about? For sure.
he's like
don't
Logan.
know.
He's like Weapon X, Wolverine. He's like that kind of hard ass.
okay, look, like me when I first played this game when I was a kid, yes, absolutely yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, fuck the system, man. You keep smoking that cigar. That's cool. And me now, I'm like, you asshole. They just told you know what you're
are
doing.
you
Put
deaf?
the cigar
He
out.
said, put that thine out.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Like, let's go. Procedure.
Just,
Let's
like,
go. Get
saying
it
it along with
together.
Major Zero.
But he finally does, right?
Yeah. So we're getting ready for this jump. We throw in our cigar. We're getting ready. And then we do the countdown.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens next?
He does the wildest thing ever, which personally, I've never been skydiving. I will never go skydiving. Once again, ever done a halo jump. Probably won't do one of those either.
You can do this. Like, this is a tourist thing now.
Oh no, I'm sure you can do this.
Yeah. I was curious about
won't.
it. I looked it up.
I just
I could
won't.
do it locally. We could do it together.
Shit.
I'm
You want to do
not
a halo
doing it.
jump into
I'm
Appalachia?
I'll take it.
1,000%
I'll take a
not
Our
road
doing
trip.
Tennessee
that.
mountain home?
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not going
I'll
to do
road
that with
trip out
you.
there.
There's no
Come on,
way.
Cole.
No. Like it would be so much easier for you guys to get me to play like literally any horror game
Yeah.
Oh, great. So we have
than
a
do
benchmark.
that. I'm just fully telling you that
Okay.
right now.
All right,
Lovely.
Layers of Fear, here we go.
Absolutely not. There's no
So,
way you were getting me in a plane
flashback
and
with
saying,
me, Cole.
okay, we're
Flashback
going to
with
jump
me.
out of it now.
Jack, I've got some important news for you.
Yes.
The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the
for the
Virtuous
Virtuous Mission.
Virtual Mission?
No, the Virtuous Mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous Mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But when he does jump,
Sure.
he like does a full on flip.
Hmm.
And then he does like 50 more.
50 more flips.
Like
Look at
that
me,
is the
I'm a
most
snake.
yeah, like that has got to be the most disorienting thing.
He's just like tumbling, like rolling down a hill.
You're falling to earth at terminal velocity.
Yeah. Spread your wings and fly. God be with you.
Yeah, he's like, nah, fuck wings. I'm just gonna be a rock.
He's like a bullet shooting straight right into the middle of those virgin cliffs.
Well, I would
Ew.
think it'd be better if he was a bullet, like if
Hold
he was
on.
like straight
Hold
down.
on. Ew.
I mean, it's a joke. They make the joke.
They do make the
I know,
joke, which is
actually,
weird.
I actually had that noted. I just needed to point. I just needed to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cole, you have a problem with the somersaulting.
Yeah. I mean, like, let's see. I'm literally looking up right now. In a stable belly to earth position, terminal velocity is about 200 kilometers an hour or 120 miles per hour. So that's if you're doing it like fully like spread out. Let's see. Stable free head fall down position has a terminal velocity of 240 to 290 kilometers an hour or 150 to 180 miles per hour. Oh, and then further minimization of drag by streamlining the body allows for speeds in the 500 kilometers an hour to 310 miles per hour. So he's going probably well over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's hitting it.
He's booking it.
He's booking it.
He's
booking it down to Russia. And then we get
can't fully like dizzy, I would assume, because he had to show off. And then somehow or another completes the halo jump, pulls the chute, but then lands in the trees.
Yeah.
Loses his backpack.
Yeah.
And then does the anime like 3-point stance on a cliff.
Well, before we land, we're treated to a very long cutscene. That's like a 30-minute long cutscene that gives the whole story of like what we're doing and what the fuck is going on and like where's Snake? First of all, I know we're doing this in the chronological order of the timeline, but this game came out after Metal Gear Solid 2, right? And we didn't really know who Big Boss was. Like we knew of the character from the story, but we never really seen him before.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I don't know what I was expecting. Because I remember when I was a kid and I got this game, I was excited because I was, big Metal Gear fan. And I got it when it came out. And I was like, oh, yeah, it would make sense that he looks just like Snake because they're clones.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I knew they were going to look exactly the same.
It threw me off because Liquid looks so different than Snake. Right. And they're twins.
I mean, the recessive genes or.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Well, actually, no, like Snake got the recessive genes.
Yeah.
Right. Solid got the recessive genes.
But Snake is the one that looks like the boss.
Right. Well, because, science, who cares, right? Nanomachines, son.
Nanomachines, son.
I mean, look, I'm really leaning into this whole revengeance thing.
Well, if you're looking for like gushing praise of the Metal Gear series, you're not going to find that here. But we have a deep appreciation and love for all the flaws and the warts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the games. I do. I'm going to make fun of them because that's all I know how to do. Because if someone asked me to do something near as creative as this, there's no way I could do it.
Oh, for sure. It's woven together in a, I want to say, decent way. But all of those flaws are just, like, it wouldn't be Metal Gear without them.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So, should I fill us in on the story?
Yeah, if you want to fill us in on the story. Like, why, Chris, why are we doing stupid somersaults out of the air?
Jack has got some important news to hear. We're taken back, and it's very much like the cutscene in Metal Gear Solid where Colonel Campbell's talking to Snake, right? Similar situation, except we're smoking a cigar this time.
Yeah, because he doesn't smoke cigarettes.
And I thought, honestly, like in the way that it was like done too was very similar. It was just that Shinkawa art style stills.
Yeah, I don't like those a lot. I like those a lot.
Yeah, and it was just a beautiful callback. This was like really masterfully done, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was good to see.
Yeah, it really like tickled my nostalgia in a good way where it was like, oh, that's like a touching callback and a great way to like establish continuity with the character.
Right.
But basically what's happened is there's this guy, Major Zero and Jack, and
he's not important at all to the story or the overlying story of the entire games either. So you can just forget about him.
Oh, who, Major Zero?
Yeah, he never comes back.
Oh. Yep. Okay. All right.
Yep. Just letting you know. I mean, like, I'm just being fully transparent here. He never comes back.
Weird energy to start it with.
I know. But hey, here we are.
Yeah. Are you being serious right now?
For sure. Yeah.
Like he never. No, he comes back a couple of times.
No. He never comes back.
Okay.
Go on though.
All right. Anyway, so Major Zero.
We're
Jack,
gonna talk about that later.
having this
we are.
conversation, and Snake is like, virtual mission. And the guy's like, no, the virtuous mission. I love this, like,
no, Snake, the virtuous mission.
I love that, like, Zero is just like, it's a different relationship than Colonel Campbell and Solid Snake, where I feel like Colonel Campbell's just like a really earnest, upfront guy.
Straight to the point.
With Snake. Yeah, you trust him in the game. And that's why, like, when he betrays your trust,
That's why it
it
hurts
kind of
so
hurts.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Zero is kind of like a parent to Jack, it feels. He's just like, no, the virtuous mission.
No, you dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I said virtual mission. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. So he's all like, you know, what the heck is this? He's like, it's not a training op. And Snake's, you know, bugging him for details. So what's going on is like 2 years ago in the setting, which is 1964, I believe, there was a Soviet scientist that requested asylum in the West, and his name was Nikolai Stefanovich Sokolov.
It's a great name.
Yeah, right. And it says
great
that
name.
he is the head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, which is a real thing in history. The OKB was a real bureau, and they did design weapons. And
I did not know that, actually.
there was no 754 number designation that we know of for the OKB, but there was a 574, and they developed fighter jet planes for the Russian army. That's what
Really?
yeah. It's pretty cool stuff. So these are
That
like
is really cool.
Soviet top secret weapon research facilities. Think like Area 51 in our kind of American chronology, I guess.
Sure.
And Sokolov is like the foremost expert in Russia. Yeah, so we get filled in like he was involved in helping the Soviets achieve space flight. And after that, he left rocket development. He became head of the design bureau. And they say that he became afraid of his own creations and that he had a crisis of conscience. So he left his country on the conditions that his family was to also be taken safely into the West. They used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. And Major Zero was the one who was in charge of the operation. So this is a very personal thing for him. And apparently this thing kind of like, it worked, and
Until it didn't.
well, and then the Cuban Missile Crisis happened.
So yeah, actually, we got the time off a little bit because Cuban Missile Crisis happened in 62.
Yeah, so like they get Sokolov over, and then like later on, the Cuban Missile Crisis happens.
Right.
We know the story of the Cuban Missile Crisis in real life.
Right.
And we said we agreed to get rid of the IRBM missiles in Turkey, but Major Zero is like, well, actually, and this is Kojima, like, this is when he's first
Playing
starting
jazz.
to like rewrite history a little bit, where he's like, actually, that was something we were going to get rid of anyway, had no strategic value. The deal was for Sokolov to be returned to Russia, and that's what we did. So Snake is like, wow, I can't believe the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get this one guy.
One guy.
Yeah. So Zero's like, yeah, that kind of makes us concerned about what he was actually working on.
Like, what does this guy have in his head, and what did we just fucking do?
Yeah. I mean, Zero.
These guys are willing to literally glass the planet
Oh, yeah.
for this one person.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
I mean, it's mental.
Mm-hmm. So Jack, Snake, whatever you want to call him at this point, Jack, I guess, is like, well, what kind of weapon is it? Was it space rockets or something like that? And he's like, no, it was missiles. And he's like, we don't know the details, but it was a new kind of nuclear device. And the Soviets have been conducting some nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk, which is a real place that was a nuclear testing ground for the Russians. So good on Kojima for doing his homework, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. That's really cool. I didn't know. I literally did not know any of that.
Yeah. So the deal is like Virtuous Mission. The objective is to go and extract Sokolov, right? And it says that according to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, which, Cole,
I'm reading this. This is so cool.
do you know what Selinoyarsk means in Russian?
I do now.
So it's not a real place in Russia. Like where this takes place, that is a real place. There's a jungle in the south of Russia that borders on Asia, and it's very much a jungle for real in Russia, which is crazy to think about. But Selinoyarsk is not a real place. The word Seli is Russian for goal. And Noyarsk is not really a word. It's kind of a suffix that they would put on the end of things and then city names. So there's like a city called Krasnoyarsk. And what it really means is just city. That means Selinoyarsk is...
It's kind of like in English where we tack on like Ville to things.
Yeah, like Ville, exactly. Or stun or whatever.
Yeah.
So Selinoyarsk means goal city.
Well done.
We have to get to the goal city, Snake.
We got to get to our goal. That's amazing. That's so cool. I never thought to look that up.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought to look that up.
Well, so my girlfriend, she was a Russian literature major, and she speaks Russian fluently. She lived in Russia for a while, and like she's not really into games. But I was playing one day, and she was over, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I know all these words," and she was like telling me.
Nice.
That's
so I was like, if I make you a list, would you like teach me?
Would you translate these?
Yeah. So she's just been like giving me impromptu Russian lessons.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have to go to Selinoyarsk. We have to get Sokolov.
Sokolov back. Yeah.
Our mission is to bring him back safely before the weapon is complete. They know that they're facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking at this point. And then once they've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, they will stand by at the recovery point. They're going to use a Fulton extractant device, the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system.
They said something kind of jarring here. I was like, really?
Yeah.
It was
Jack is like, I'm familiar with the theory.
Yeah, he's basically asking if like the shock of being picked up by a Fulton won't just fucking kill this guy.
Yeah, and you know it's funny because
that's what I'm taking
if
away
I remember
from it, right?
like Metal Gear Solid 5, that's a risk that can happen. Like,
oh yeah, like if you've like really hurt these dudes and then you send them up when it's raining or like storming, there's a very good chance they're fucking dead.
I just have this mental picture of Sokolov and then like the
like he'd probably be like happy though. That's the thing.
Whoopee! Like from Peace
Yeah,
Walker.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's cool that they are going to try and get him out that way, you know?
Yeah.
The thing I guess I don't know, and once again, this is why I probably wasn't in the military, is at that point, once they had Sokolov there, why couldn't we just affix the Fulton there?
I think it's something to do with like Soviet airspace, right?
They're already in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
I think.
I mean, no. I mean, you're already close enough. It's not like Snake trekked in, you know, miles and miles and miles to get to.
Well, and I think this might be jumping ahead a little bit, but I think the cutscene answers that.
I believe it says it's 3 miles that Snake treks into the forest. So like from where we land is 3 miles away. And I guess like, you know, if I remember in 5, if you would Fulton someone and there were guards around or whatever, they would shoot down the Fulton device.
Sure, if they're immediately nearby. But I mean, this is a weather balloon that's flying up.
But again, once we get to this, the cutscene answers why. Like, he doesn't have any time after.
That's very true. But the thing is, though, is that they already knew that, okay, well, he has to get back to this one extraction zone.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's where the plane can get in to pick him up, too.
Sure. The reason I'm bitching about it is I'm kind of like, man, it's a plane. 3 miles is, 3 miles, but you can get 3 miles a lot faster in a plane.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think they just don't want to get too close to the base there.
Sure, but I mean, you're already in Soviet airspace,
right? But I'm saying I don't think I'm explaining myself very good.
Maybe I'm not explaining my argument very well.
Me no
That could totally
word good. Sometime. Little word work better.
Anyway, the basic thing is that they're recovering him by Fulton.
Yeah.
And we have to get him out to a certain place for him to be picked up.
Yep. So should be home in time for dinner. It's a 4-hour time limit. Godspeed, right? We glide into the forest and you take off your helmet that says Metal Gear Solid on it. Which is, I think, this cool like cinematic thing of like, oh, here's the title on my helmet.
Oh, as it pops up, yeah.
Yeah, and guys, at the beginning of the game, which one did you pick? I like Metal Gear Solid.
I picked 3.
Okay.
3 is my favorite.
You picked 3. What did you pick, Tori?
Well, I traditionally pick 3, but this last time I went and played, I picked 2.
I picked 2 because I die every time. If you pick 3, you get all of the DLC stuff from the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
You get all those like face paints and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got all those.
Yeah.
Oh, so that explains why I had a different experience than I usually see. Okay, we can get to that later, though. Okay.
Because like one of the camos is like better than the default camo by like 5%. I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And that 5% saves your ass a lot.
Yeah, because I'm like going through the weeds with like a 90% coverage rate.
Yeah.
Right? Oh man, it's perfect.
I love it.
It feels good to play this game, doesn't it, Cole?
Yeah, it does. I mean, like I've loved 3 like ever since I played it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I love the healing mechanics. I love the camo mechanics. I feel like invested in the gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm playing on the Vita.
Ooh.
So there's different things with the touch screen that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can use it to like peek out across like over cover. It's a little easier for me to aim like my piece. It's nice. I love this game. I really, really do enjoy this game.
Yeah.
Mechanically and story wise.
Yeah. Should we talk about like, I guess, so that covers our story so far.
Sure. You know, I said earlier, we dropped the backpack in the trees and they're like, go get your backpack, Snake. And you're like, all right, great. I'm going to go do that real quick.
I do have one thing to say real quick, just before we move on from this part.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah,
go ahead.
My one thing is just, of all of the ridiculous things that Snake does as a character, just like his character design and how he operates, his mannerisms, the first indication that you know this is going to be a goofy motherfucker is when he just like really sarcastically or just like emphatically like pulls his shit off of him and throws it down, and you know he just makes this big show of it. And then after he does that, he's been standing out and just boisterously pulling his shit off and dropping it, and then suddenly he's had the thought, I'm in the open, and he just like he fucking darts his head to the side like and then finally takes cover. Right?
Hopefully no one saw this bravado.
Just, oh my god.
This is like a James Bond movie.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
That's what it's supposed to be, right? I mean, it's an homage to like 60s spy movies.
I fucking love it. It's just so over the top and campy, and it just fits perfectly with like, this is like when Kojima's, I think, sense of humor kind of aligned with what he was actually working on.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I love it. This isn't going to be a Death Stranding season. That's all I'll say.
You won't. No. You're
gonna hear me gush about dumb stuff for a minute.
Yeah.
On multiple parts.
I mean, we're gonna spend a 6-month slow mosey. Almost.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So we like I said though, you do lose your backpack. We do have to go get it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you lose your backpack. And then we land, we talk to Zero. This is where we establish our code names, which is important.
Yep. He starts out with a Bowie reference, right?
Well, yes and no. He says, call me Major Tom. And he says it's a reference to the movie
2001, right?
No.
The Great Escape. The Great Escape.
The Great Escape. There's 3 different tunnels. And he says the tunnel that they got out of was called Tom.
But we all know that Kojima's a big David Bowie fan as well.
Absolutely. Call me
So-
Major Tom.
Call me Major Tom.
Yeah.
But then Snake doesn't get it, and so he's like, well, fine, we'll just go with 0.
Yeah. I love this line too. Tori, you got this because you picked Metal Gear Solid 2, right? Where Major Tom has this there's this extra dialogue. Did you know about this, Cole?
I didn't know.
So when you take off the helmet,
Yeah,
if
dude.
you selected I like Metal Gear Solid 2, you're wearing a Raiden mask.
Yeah.
No.
I'm glad you brought this
Yeah.
up because I was
No.
thinking about
That's so
whether I was going to
funny.
talk about this.
And then it's like
That's so funny.
so the part that Tori described where he lands and then does this like campy thing at the
Mhm.
end of the Kodak conversation, instead of just hanging up or continuing into more of the mission, it's like he says, "Oh, Snake," and Snake's like, "Yeah," and he says, "The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take the disguise off now."
God.
And then Snake says, "Good idea. This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin."
Oh, God
Oh,
damn it.
And he
God.
takes the Raiden mask off.
I hate it. I hated it.
Oh my god, that's so
Time for
funny.
the snake to shed his skin.
Oh, my God.
Oh God. Oh Lord
Oh
God
my
Almighty.
god.
Snake
That-
has
Oh my
goddamn dad
God.
jokes.
Yeah.
I take it. But yeah, we have to get our stuff. We finally get our stuff. And who do we talk to?
We get back into Major Tom and he tells us how to use a menu.
Yep, gotta love that.
Use your backpack.
Oh,
Um,
wait. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I just was looking down at my notes and I realized there's one more thing we got to talk about from after his taking the mask off. Chris, did you catch
Oh, yeah.
how after he takes the mask off, he spreads his arms out again and he just like wags his head back and forth in the fucking wind?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
He's just
dude. Oh my God, it was the most ridiculous. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to mention that.
Oh, you're good. Good.
He's like, I'm free.
So goddamn
Lord.
ridiculous.
Yeah. No, nobody had any fun making this game,
Mm-mm.
it seems.
Yeah, no.
It was a L'Oreal commercial.
Mhm.
We basically get introduced to our entire team
Yeah.
at this point.
We talked to Major
Uh,
Tom. He tells us about stuff we got. He's like, this is our Kodak. This is how this works.
Mm-hmm.
This is the action button. My radio frequency is this. If you want to give me a call, drunk down me sometime.
140.85.
Yeah.
What's up?
Which is, I think, the standard your commander line for
Yeah,
all the
your
games.
Commander. I believe so. Yeah.
And then we have
Um,
like a trank gun and a microphone.
Yep, we got the microphone. We get told about our false tooth with the fake death pill in
Yeah,
it.
this thing is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's great. We get told about our radar, and how it works.
Can we back up to that revival or the big death pill
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
for 2 seconds? Something's always
Yeah.
bugged me, and maybe I just didn't. Maybe the answer's obvious and I didn't know. But so when the explanation for that is going on, Snake's like, "Well, then how do I come back to life?" And whoever is is it Major Tom at this point, or is it the boss? I might have spoiled that.
I think it's paramedic.
Oh, paramedic, that
It's
makes
both
sense.
paramedic and Major Zero kind of coming back, and like both of them are kind of talking at the same time.
Okay, right. So whichever one of them it is says, "Oh, you just take the revival pill." But like, if it sends him into a state of false death, like,
So I think the idea, and once again, I am not entirely sure on this. I'm just kind of going off of what I remember from playing it a little bit about a week ago, and just from basic understanding, is that it is supposed to basically give you the phenotype of a dead person.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
You're not
Like
actually like you're still conscious, I believe.
Right, you're fully still conscious. It's just like it slows down like it slows down your cardiac system, so like your heart isn't pumping
gotcha.
as powerfully as you can't be under the effect of this thing for very long, otherwise you will probably die.
Okay,
You if you have a game over, right?
Yeah.
It kind of like goes to this black and white,
Mm-hmm.
and it says game over.
Mhm.
If you take the fake death pill, you still see things in color,
Right.
and the color slowly fades.
And I always thought
And-
that was a really cool effect, but I just wondered how, like, if you can be in a state of false death long enough to actually die.
I have no idea.
I assume, like, once again, I assume it can't be that you can't fake it for that long because, like I said, like you have to basically make it seem like your heart isn't beating. You're definitely not breathing. You're definitely holding your breath at that point because I don't know if you guys knew this, but dead people don't breathe.
Oh, shit.
It's a I know
Yeah.
scientific conundrum. No one's figured it out yet.
Dead people do
Um,
grow hair and fingernails.
Yeah,
and
because that's just dead you.
toenails. Yeah.
It's just dead you. That's why they tell you, like, if you're growing your hair, that you should like eat everything healthy because what comes out of you is just dead you. And if you're being healthy, then the healthier dead you is, the better your hair. Hi, welcome to the salon with Cole Duncan.
I can't wait to revisit this at a certain river down the road.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
I know. But yeah, no. So you get all of your equipment, and we finally have someone else on this call that you didn't think you were gonna be talking to, and it's the lady that we talked about in the last episode, the boss, and she is basically saying, you guys have a moment together where you're talking, and we're revisiting each other because they've been separated for such a long time.
Yeah.
And she kind of talks a little bit more about CQC, which we talked about in the last episode, that the two of them developed together. It's kind of an awkward moment that we're watching here, right?
Oh, for sure. Snake lists out exactly how long it's been since he's seen her last, like down to the minute.
When I played this game, this was the first time I played this game. I was in high school, and it was shortly after I had my first real breakup with a girl.
Oh,
And you know how that is.
I
I
do.
was sad. You catch the feels and they don't have them. So disappointing. But I remember when I was playing this, having the thought of like, wow, he should get over that.
Even you, a heartbroken
like,
man, was just
teenage Chris Hampton had a little more emotional security about being abandoned
yeah. Is that
than
when you
Snake
abandoned
does
me?
here.
God, I just hate Snake in this part of the game. Well, there's a lot of moments where I hate Snake, but this, when he's all, is that why you abandoned me? And she, like a mother would, has to spell out, it literally wasn't even about you. Like, get your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like us seeing a very flawed and different character from other iterations of Big Boss, right?
Right.
And I think as we play through the game, you do see him mature and grow up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the game, there's this, you feel like a different person. You feel like you have become and earned that legendary title for that soldier that you heard about in Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
this game is meant to be humbling for Snake.
Yeah.
For Boss.
Yeah.
It's a really well written game.
It's really well written, and it's meant to just kind of break the character down because at the top of the game, we see him as just kind of this dickhead. I mean, yeah, he's just a dickhead Green Beret who's just like, I don't know what.
Tori, could you do the what was that when we were talking during our meeting, the greenhorn thing?
What?
You made some comment about how green Snake was or something.
You mean the line from the beginning of the game? Does Pennywise know what he's doing?
Yeah. I need that as like a notification on my text messages.
Okay, just gonna go ahead and find that clip real quick.
But yeah, no, they have this conversation, and I really wish they would have kept the same writing going forward with all of Kojima's games. I'm just throwing this out there because this isn't it's awkward, but it's meant to be awkward, and I like that. Is that it's an understood awkwardness to an extent. Like are they lovers? Were they less than that? What's the deal here? What's going on? And it's left somewhat ambiguous, but you know what I'm saying? Like there is a gray area, and I like that there's basically a gray area over this entire game.
I gotta say, as a young teenage lesbian, at the time I was going through the same thing with Snake. I was just like, boss, is she mom? Is she love? What?
What do we do?
How do I feel? Why do I feel?
What am I supposed to think?
Yeah.
But like I said, like we do get this is the point where we get all of our stuff. We've talked about a lot of it. One thing we haven't really fully talked about, we kind of touched on it, but was camo. And this is my shit. This is one of the things that I loved the most about this game, was the ability to play it in a certain way that you can fully control damn near how sneaky you are, or how unsneaky.
Oh, for sure.
If I wanted to go through this entire thing, with a combat knife in one hand and a trank gun in the other, with a French flag, like tricolor, like painted on my face, I can fully do that at this point.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially after you get a certain weapon.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, once I do, I am doing that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You don't think I'm going to go? Never mind. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
But no, you can fully, they teach you how to apply camo, which is face camo, and your actual camouflage, like what you're actually wearing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole plethora of different choices for you to use. In this area, I'm using a lot of Tiger Strike. I'm using a lot of just different leaf patterns, and it was just so cool to me. I don't know why. Just like, I'm like lying down. I'm like, oh man, I'm like 75% covered. And if I fully flatten out, it goes up to 80 or 90. I was like, oh, okay, I can fully get this. And that was me when I was a kid. And now looking back at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to fucking do all this shit.
Yeah. I think the cool thing about the camo system in this game is that when you apply the camo correctly, sure, you get the camo rating at the top right corner that's like a higher number, and it makes you harder to see. But you actually do blend in with the environment more as a character. Super well.
It's
pretty fucking put on that red brick
Hell yeah.
camo when you're
I fucks with that red brick.
In Rosfit. Yeah. And lean up against that wall and you will blend right in. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's just really cool. And like I haven't seen a game do it as well since.
Yeah.
And even with Metal Gear games, like Metal Gear 4, I know we're jumping way ahead in the future here, but
yeah.
You do have an active camo, but it's just like, great. Now I'm just fucking invisible with just because I laid down on something. Dope.
Yeah.
But this, I feel I have agency. Like I can choose how, if I get spotted, it's my own damn fault. That was
disappointing in a way for MGS4, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like with 3, it's like, I feel like it's dumb, but I feel super happy. I literally would have like a guard basically stepping on my hands.
In some tall grass.
And I'm just lying in some tall grass. He passes by. I just hop up, grab him, drag him back into the tall grass, drop him down, knock him out. We're good to go. His friend's like, where'd he go? Base, come in. And I've already got him, and he's coming to the tall grass.
And
it's just super, super.
Man,
it's super well.
I gotta tell you, Cole, your technique's a little sloppy. He's already called into base, so that radio is gonna keep going off, and they're gonna send in some people.
I'm John Rambo out in these streets. Like, let's go. Come on.
You're like stealthy, but like sloppy stealthy. It sounds like.
I mean, I can be.
It's so interesting to me talking about the different play styles of this game, because you can really come at it from a lot of different angles, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was younger, it was just path of least resistance, like snipe them with the gun and then deal with the bodies later.
That's how we played in MGS2, right? That was like your only option.
Yeah, but now it's going back into it, I am like actively trying to like put myself in positions where I'm like, okay, I know I can kind of figure out their patrols. Okay, I know he's going to be coming by this tree, so if I hide down here, I can snag him and drag him into the bushes, wait for his friend, and then if need be, just crack his friend in the dome with one of the trank darts. He already drops into the grass. I can just pick him up, throw him in there.
Yeah.
With his, it's cool, and I like that. Also, there's a point up here that we're about to talk about that you really need that trank gun.
Yeah. Can we go back to the part about talking about the boss and the Kodak conversation?
Had a lot more to say there, huh?
Sure.
Too? Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to say about that. Because I feel like, okay, I have two opinions. One, I think that Virtuous Mission might be the most perfect bite-sized piece of Metal Gear Solid. Like, if you just want to play like a 5-hour quick Metal Gear Solid experience, that's the most perfect way to get it.
Sure.
And two, I think that it contains a lot of the dialogue, that is super important to the whole canon of Metal Gear Solid. And a lot of it happens in this conversation with Jack and with the boss. And Tori, I think you have some stuff to say about this too, right?
I mean, I really just had one quote specifically that I pulled, which I just love the way that when Snake says that really dumb thing that I guess, like, I shouldn't equate it to what a child would say because that's not cool, but it does sound pretty childish when he says something like, I still need you to teach me how to think like a soldier. And she's like, I can't fucking teach you that. What are you talking about? And she's saying one of the most important parts of being a soldier is to have spirit. What you need most is spirit. Spirit and body are two sides of the same coin. I was just like, damn, boss. Like, not only coming out here with some work on your CQC, buddy, but also, like, get your mind right, dude. What are you doing out here?
Yeah, the conversation is really interesting because it's like, it's awkward because it's like, oh, there's this person I haven't seen in a long time. And those conversations are always awkward in real life. But then it's like the boss is being a little cryptic and trying to like send a message to Snake, and he's not picking up on it. And I think you get the sense that like he's not picking up on it.
He's too wounded,
either.
like we were just saying. He's too hung up on this. I don't know. He feels like he's been slapped in the face by her, and she again is just like, again, this is not about you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to go back to and touch on as far as the boss and that little piece there. So, covering camo, and then like from here, it's just like we carry on with the mission.
We have this big conversation with the boss and with the team. And now we finally we're back in it. We finally have control of Snake again. And now we are actually making our way to Sokolov. So, Tori?
Yeah.
How did you fare getting to him? This first area?
So I will say that through this area and all the others from the Virtuous Mission, I started out on hard difficulty to give myself a challenge, and I regretted it pretty quickly. But, stubborn as I am, I went ahead and plugged on. So I'm not going to lie to you boys, I got caught a lot. that first time.
You were on hard.
Like a whole lot. And I thought I was being pretty sneaky too. Like, I utilized the tall grass, I utilized the logs, I utilized every little hiding space I could, but just wasn't having it. So I started over on normal. And
is that better?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know.
Do you feel like normal is the way the game should be played?
Yeah, I do. I do. And let me also just preface this by saying I'm playing a pretty survivalist type of playthrough where I'm only going to use like the most basic of means that I can. Like, I'll collect all the other fun toys, sure, but I'm really only going to use what I need and nothing more, ideally.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're the survivalist of the group.
So that's what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna lie. I think there's too big of a gap between normal and hard, because normal, and it might just be because I've only ever played on normal, but it just feels a little too easy at this moment in time. And maybe I'll be shooting myself in the foot by saying that, but that's where I'm at. When I switched difficulties, I was just a slithering snake through all that grass.
Normal feels like, to me, the way the game is supposed to be played, and hard is like,
so too.
If you want to get your ass kicked, and European Extreme is like if you're a real like sadist.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought
and you
that
just
sentence
have a lot
was
of
going
hate.
in another direction.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to hear, if you're just a real slut for punishment.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you are, that's another way to go about it. Play European Extreme.
I'm good, personally. I'm just going to stick with normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I decided pretty quickly, too, because, actually, as much as I hate to admit this, I didn't actually even trigger the cutscene for Sokolov on hard. I was like, if I can't not get caught with these guards around Sokolov, I cannot fight the first boss. So
I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a fair point. I just want to enjoy the game, you know?
Yeah.
That's my whole thing, is that like I care a lot about playing it, and if I'm just constantly being stymied by the game itself, I'm like, all right, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And I'm currently enjoying it as I'm going through it.
Right.
When I was a kid, I used to play, I would put this game on, like, you know, between like coming home from school and going to work or whatever. And play for like 20 minutes on just like very easy with the gun that gives you like 90% ammo. Because it's just so fun to just like run around, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You just like drop in and run around for like 20 minutes and be like, all right, I'm going to work.
Sometimes I feel like playing that way. This time I was a lot more conservative. I bet that'll drop once we get further in the game, but this time I was a lot more hidey than anything. I really didn't have confrontations with guards if I could help it.
Yeah, I feel you. And you're playing on the PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah.
I bet that's a trip going back to like old tech.
It's not. I mean, it's not that bad. I'm only missing a few buttons, really. It's the worst part about it is that I have a wired controller.
And that sucks. That sounds like Stone Age tech.
I'll tell you right now, it's really nice just to be able to play all of this from the comfort of my bed. Yeah. It's amazing. I just want to put that out there.
I mean, I can do that too. It's just, you know, it's
like fully like full on like 10-year-old. I'm under the sheets like with my Vita. It's great. I love it.
So yeah, how about you guys? How did you guys get through these areas?
Did anyone just trank the one gator and then just go from the first portion?
No, I didn't fuck with the gators.
I stabbed him. I like got down on my belly and just went like kuh, 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 and then it would do the bling, ding. and you get the 3 pieces of the gator.
Gator's tasty too.
Oh, it is.
Out there.
He throws out that tasty.
I was just talking about in real life. Like, gator tastes pretty good.
I've had some.
I like it at least.
Had some gator bites, some fried gator bites.
Yeah, it's tasty. Yeah. If you get a chance. How does everyone deal with guards? That's the real question. Like, because we've got a couple areas of guards. I mean, the first area past like the gators, there's guards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. okay, so there's the first area, the Dramushi swampland, which, by the way,
Thank you
Dramushi.
for telling me how to actually pronounce that.
Dramushi is Russian. It means dense. So
And
this
it
is a dense swampland and a dense forest in Russian.
On the way to Goal City.
Yeah, on the way to.
Creative, so clever.
And then you like there's the swampland area with all the gators. I kind of fucked around with the animals a lot there. And then this is the area you're talking about, Dramushi North, which is the first area with guards, and it gives you this
Right.
like cutscene. It's like, here's your introduction to guards. It kind of reminds me of the cavern area, like in Metal Gear Solid, where you're waiting for the elevator to come
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. You get to kind of like it's almost like a little sandbox for you to just kind of fuck around with. It's like it can get hairy if you want it to get hairy, or it can be take it a little bit slower. You know, you don't even have to do anything.
Can I make a very specific call out here?
Please do.
So, okay, in the cavern area in Metal Gear Solid 1, it's like a square, and the goal is in the elevator, which is in the back of the square room.
Yes.
But you have this area at the front of the square where like you can play around, and it's a safe area for you to learn how to control Snake, right? So here we've had these first two areas of the game where you are safe to be Snake, and the only thing that's going to happen to you, it's introducing like, oh, well, now there's environmental danger, like the gators that could hurt you. And then you get into this area and it's a fucking square with the room, the exit door at the very back.
Very far around.
And the guards are walking around in a similar fucking pattern. And it's the first area. Like, man, this is cool. This is cool, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah. This area I got through and I only killed one guy, though.
Yeah, Chris, I just wanted to mention I love that you kept a kill count in your notes. That was awesome for me to see.
I was trying to write it like a book, like tell a story, you know? Because this is like
Day 3, I've eaten my 4th python.
Well, when I got this game, my other like close friend in high school, Ryan Wood, we had one class together. It was like a math class, and we sat next to each other. And it was like the one time a day, we would roll in there and we would like use the burn up time before class started, where we would talk about, oh yeah, like in this area, how did you get through here? And we would like tell our little stories about like how we snuck through. And it was just cool to talk about like the different ways that we did it.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like they were playing a different game than me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so great about this, because all of the different variables in this provide just such an expansive experience. Like, I guarantee when we play more of these parts of the game, we're going to have some very different stories to tell about it, even though we're all getting the same story. And that's what I think is good about replayability. Like, I know I can get a different game this time just by choosing to rely on different things or choosing to put emphasis on different things.
So, like, I'm playing physically. You guys told like what you're playing on. I'm playing on the Xbox One, and I have the HD collection, and I'm using the Elite Wireless 2 controller. So it's got those back paddles, and I can assign like stuff to it, and it just feels good. And you know, typically I've just been playing through in my bed on a Sunday morning. I order Postmates breakfast in bed and just play Metal Gear Solid 3 and smoke a bowl and just chill. It's great. But I will say that the slippiness, I forgot, like, this is when the touch thing was happening.
Yeah.
And I killed more people than I care to admit, trying to hold them up and get information out of them, but like accidentally slitting their throats. And it felt so bad. I was like, oh God, another one.
Damn it.
And I was like, I'll see you again. I know. And I'm sorry.
I'll hear your screams later. I know.
Like, I didn't mean to. I wish it was a separate button that you press to
it's
do
so
the action.
Because it takes such a finesse, doesn't it? And you just like one like precise slip in the wrong direction, and he's gone. just murdered him.
And that's
like-
what happens in real life too, folks. I mean, let's be real here. One tiny little slip up and they're gone.
More like Jack the fucking Ripper. Terror of the Russian forest.
I've actually, because like back in the day when I was a kid, I was like, I'm just gonna kill every single one of these because I didn't realize that I'm going to see them again. I've done okay. And with like, like grabbing them and like dragging them off to like tall grass and then like just knocking them out there.
There you go.
That's been my like go-to. And if it's just getting too difficult, like I'll like, just trank one in the head.
Yeah.
So that's another thing about this playthrough for me is I've lately, I don't know if it's just my conscience kept catching up with me, but the only playthroughs I want to do anymore are pacifist. And sometimes I will fuck it up and accidentally slit a guard's throat, like you do.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a bummer, but I like to play as close to pacifist as possible.
Sure. They kind of talk about it at the top of the mission before you go in, where they're like, "Hey, like this, like you're supposed to be a ghost, like
Yeah. You're not supposed to
try
leave
and
any
sneak
Snake.
past them."
no bullet casings. Not even a bullet casing can be left behind,
Mhm.
which I think was really suggestive.
It's kind of bullshit,
Yeah,
I think it's just Kojima once again laying into you about, hey, there's another way to play this game. You don't have to go shoot him up.
So this next part with the bridge, that's where the game kind of takes a turn. Like we had this nice little part where Chris kind of was talking about where you can kind of explore and get your bearings and, if I push this button too hard, someone's getting a knife in the throat.
Yeah. This is where like shit gets wild.
It gets wild and you can really fuck with the mechanics of the game a little bit. Like there's a rope bridge. And I remember when I was playing this as a kid, I just kind of jokingly shot at one of the ropes and I watched it disconnect and I saw how it affected the actual bridge. And I was like, holy shit. Okay.
I picture like little Cole's face going like,
That's exactly what happened. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some dastardly shit here.
that was like
And-
my reaction too, because I was like, oh my god, the bridge, it's the best part.
But then I realized Cole's also like, hey, dumbass, you have to get across it.
Yeah. Well, it's good you had that thought.
So once again, it's a little bit difficult because we've got guards down here, but there's a lot that you can do, and I did not know about the beehive trick at all until like recently.
It's in the cut scene, dude. Are you not watching the cut scene? He like
I
does the snake grin.
I am, but at the same time, like when I was a kid, I was like, this is just a weird game, and he's just like smiling for some fucking reason.
Wait.
I mean, yeah.
Do you know about holding the L1 button?
So like look at stuff, yeah.
Yeah, if you hold the L1 button, it shows you the beehive.
I know. And Chris, I feel like I have to remind you.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I'm not a smart person.
Oh.
And sometimes I don't put two and two together.
I'm sorry.
I know. And so I was doing everything in my power when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then like now, obviously I know better. So I'm like, oh yeah, just get the beehive down.
Yeah.
And that's the big distraction. But like when I was a kid, I was like, I was doing a lot.
Yeah.
I was doing like I'm like sneaking around, like trying to make noise, and they're like, "What was that noise?" And I'm like, "Gotcha!" And I grab them, or like I shot them from like underneath because I was really well camouflaged. And then the other guy comes around and is like, "Where's this other guy?" And I'm like, "Gotcha!" And I hit him too. And I was just dropping people.
I love that you're doing the ape escape. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was a fucking psycho as a kid.
Yeah.
Or I would like do the thing where like I knock out the one at the base of the tree, and then I run out on the bridge and I jump down real quick and I just hang out there and let the other guard pass.
Oh, yeah.
And then I do the exact same thing to him, and then I just start like booking it to the other side and then just try and dive into the bushes. Like it's been a lot better.
I can't book it across
this
this
playthrough.
bridge and not fall off of it. I've tried very hard.
Trial and error.
I know
a lot of trial and error.
The secret is you have to, if you make a certain part of the bridge unstable, you need to like crawl over that part, right? And then put your weight on like towards the more stable side, or you need to shoot out other sides to like counterbalance it and make it to where like the bridge part sags evenly with your weight if you walk straight down the middle. It's got like physics. There are bridge physics. I'm obsessed with these bridge physics.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it is. So this area of the game is called Dolovo, and in Russian, Dolovo means water valley.
Well, what do you know?
So strange.
And it's
There's water and it's in a valley.
Yeah, and we're you know, I mean, you know, I use that beehive shit. You know, I'm on that beehive shit. I keep that. Yeah, I keep that on me.
You keep that motherfucking beehive on you?
I keep that motherfucking beehive shit on me, and I take it down, and it causes them to like run away, and then I played with the bridge physics and make them like fall off the bridge.
Oh my god!
Yeah, on their way back. And Tori, you said your playstyle was like kind of survivalist, and Cole, you're like stealthy John Rambo. Mm-hmm. And I feel like mine is like insert snake grin here, like any like mischievous like anime Kojima shit is like how I'm playing the game.
You're the Kevin McAllister of like espionage game.
Basically, yes, that is what I'm Kevin McAllister.
You're fucking Home Alone in the middle of the Russian like
like there's a part where I lure a guy by shooting down fruit from a tree, and then like I jump down on top of him.
There's gonna be a point in this game where like Chris attaches like a car battery to a doorknob, and he just waits like with his hands over his mouth, just like cackling.
Yeah, you know it.
But you got something that I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not get this thing that you got.
So
do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let me give you my bridge approach, because I this is like a ritual for me. Every time I play this game, I play this part of the game the same way. I shoot down the beehive. I pick out the ropes so when the guards come back, they fall off it. I was talking to Alessio about this actually. I feel like if you're not using the beehive though, and if you don't play with the rope bridge, then you're playing this game incorrectly. You know, I could probably make some sort of joke about a rope and a stick here.
Don't you fucking dare.
I think that would be a bridge too far, and I'm not the delivery guy for that kind of message, Cole. But so
Tori, where can people find you on the internet? Oh, it's young Neil Chris, and you're at Chris Hammond II. I'm Cole on whatever. Don't find me. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Whatever, don't find me. Can I quote you on that?
Yeah.
So there's an assault rifle in this little alcove under the bridge, the XM16E1, and you can do like John Rambo shit in the next area.
Yeah,
with that assault rifle.
Fucking assault rifle. That makes it a lot easier, I will say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I never. Tori, did you ever grab this guy?
Oh, I grab it every time. It's just a matter of do I use it or not.
See, I'm
a collector.
I didn't. I never have. I've never grabbed this guy.
Did you get the sniper rifle?
I did get the sniper rifle, yeah. Okay. And the only reason I got the sniper rifle is because of
you're a sniper boy. That's why.
Oh yeah,
you're a little sniper boy.
I'm a little sneaky sniper boy. But we do get past this part, and we're getting to near the end. We're getting near the end at this point, right? We find the actual area where Sokolov is being held, and Chris, as our current linguist, can you please tell me how to pronounce this?
Well, Cole, this area where Sokolov is being held is called Rasviet, and it Rasviet.
French was hard enough for me to kind of like butcher my way through. I'm not even going to try with Russian.
So I want to blow your mind here for a second because I know what my notes say, but I found this out. I had this conversation with my girlfriend, and she was like, "Well, actually, if you get into the real meaning of the word, so Rassvet literally translated means dawn in Russian, right?
Okay,
but the real translation or what the word means is to come to color." Or to come into color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like really, and it's interesting because like this area of the game is used as like a staging point where it's like big story events happen here twice.
The wool is kind of drawn from like taken away from your eyes, and you're kind of getting to see everything for what it actually is.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Like Sokolov is trying to explain to you what's going on. And then later on, you get filled in on other stuff that we'll talk about the next time.
Yeah. I will fully say that I went full Rambo here.
What's your kill count?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, you got to keep him next time.
That's an appropriate answer.
I don't know. It was a lot of, okay, I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to trank this guy. And then someone was like, get the fuck up. I'm like, no, don't get the fuck up. So I trank that guy and the other guy's already up. So I'm like, stabby stab.
Hey, Cole. How's the suppressor on your trank doing?
It's not there. I'll say that.
Okay. That's fair.
It's hanging on.
Okay.
By a thread.
Yeah, it was a lot of punching and it was a lot of stabbing. Because I did sneak in. I got like all the way into the actual area.
Yeah.
And then I got caught. Like I was like fully in the building.
Yeah.
And then I got caught.
Oh, that's right.
So then it was a lot of like punchy punch, stab, like get a couple shots off and then hide, like fully hide and like camouflage and just like wait it out.
You have to wait, right? Until the alert goes away.
You have to fully wait for it to come down, and then you have to wait even more for them to resume natural routes. And that took me a minute to realize and remember. Tori, Miss Survivalist.
Yeah.
How did you fare?
So I had a few tries. Like I said, the first time, not so well. I got caught a lot, no matter which approach I took. And let me tell you, I had multiple sets of blueprints for this operation. Getting to this guy in a small box and a bigger box.
There's a joke here to be made, but I'm not sure what it is.
In a bigger box.
It's just a box.
It's something like that.
And then I won the game, and that was it. Now the show's over.
That was it.
Yeah. Then I switched difficulties, and I took the route that got me the most success on the hard difficulty, which was to start crawling to the not the easternmost point of this layout, but start crawling eastward behind the barrels and the tall grass.
Yeah, those barrels are your best friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
They are your best friend.
And I made a mental note to say that I brought the camera over to Snake's right as he was crawling so that you could see what was going on to his left. And I was basically crawling as this guard was walking to a grass patch that's across from Snake and right up on the building. So I would wait for him to get to the end of that tall grass patch, which meant he was going to be turned around for a while. And then I snuck into that tall grass and then went ahead and switched up my camo to the red brick and went under some of the crawl spaces. Here's where I run into trouble sometimes. If I'm not careful enough, I will pop up as a guard has just turned to look in my direction. But basically,
when that happens.
Yep, it is a bummer. But then I just crawl around under the building for a while, and it's all gravy.
How do we feel about the lack of a Soliton radar?
I love it. Because I relied too much on it in MGS2 So the fact that I have to, I mean, it takes me a lot longer. I will say this.
Yeah.
It takes some fucking time, but that allows me to get this routine down. I like watch the guards for a minute and then just plot my course and see how it does.
See, I personally use like the little sonar a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'll pop it out and just kind of
They can
as
hear
a
that,
double
though.
check. I'm like, boom. Oh, they can hear it for sure.
Yeah, so I don't like to rely on that one too much.
It's definitely like I pull it out just to see where I am, and just to get a mental read on it on everything, and then I immediately like close it up just so like I know like, okay, I can turn this corner now.
Gotcha.
Or if they're right here and they hear it, perfect. I've already drawn them out. I can just grab them real quick.
Gotcha. Yeah, my whole approach is right now anyway. I'm sure this will change as we push on through the game, but my whole approach right now is just avoiding confrontation with the guards because I can.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I'll go hide underneath the building and listen to that awesome caution music that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that plays a lot for me.
Same.
I did the thing with like the barrel because I couldn't help myself,
Did you
But
shoot
I was
it
pretty good. I used the trank gun a whole lot to get through here.
Okay.
And depending on which playthrough you're talking about, I played through this section of the game about 12 times in preparation for this. But yeah, so I think the one that I am counting for the show was like I only killed one guy because, again, I was trying to get some information out of him, and the damn thing was just like, no, you're going to slit his throat instead.
Have
But
fun with that.
I got Sokolov, and it was, this is just a fun area. You can go full Rambo, you can go like sneaky, and it's like now you have to encounter this environment that's like not jungle. And it's like, oh, well, I just got used to this jungle stuff.
Right.
And my camo actually makes me stick out here.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
You change it, of course.
Yeah. You spend a lot of time in that camo menu.
Yeah.
I will also say, because I haven't mentioned it yet, because I've obviously gotten hit in this game, like obviously multiple times. The healing system in this game is probably one of my favorite healing systems of all time.
It's so good.
We haven't taken a beat to talk about it, but I would love to talk about it if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
Well, there definitely is a good chunk of time to talk about it at the very end of our cutscene.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Let's save that actually.
Where you're at the bottom of the waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
But basically we get through this area and we do find Sokolov.
Yep. And we find someone else too.
We sure do. It's the weirdest thing ever, and I still love him. We find our boy Ocelot. Actually, that's Major Ocelot to you.
Nice.
He's Gru.
Yeah.
GRU. He is the best boy. I don't care what anyone says. He's my favorite character of this entire series. And he absolutely wrecks this entire. Are they KGB, correct? Is that am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
So the guards that we've been dealing with so far have been KGB, and Ocelot is a member of the GRU.
Special Forces.
Yes.
He's got a snazzy outfit on, doesn't he?
No, he sure
That like
does.
Yes, he
striped
do.
shirt and that
Looking
red
spiffy.
beret. He wore a raspberry beret.
He did. He's not revolver Ocelot at this point because he's not using a revolver.
Mm-hmm.
He's using a Makarov PM.
Oh.
It's a tiny little piece.
Are those tactical engravings there, buddy?
They might be some tactical engravings, and I don't know if you knew this.
Yeah.
They actually don't have any advantage on the battlefield.
Are you sure though?
Damn.
I'm almost positive they serve no tactical advantage whatsoever. They're great for Hollywood, though. Great for Hollywood. They're pretty good.
You're pretty good, kid.
Pretty good.
You're pretty good.
Oh my god.
No, like before all of that happens, he absolutely wrecks this entire camp.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even bouncing a bullet like 4 times to hit some dude around a corner.
Yeah, he's like killing his own countrymen.
Oh yeah. He's fully committing straight up multiple homicides.
I actually have what I think is a pretty funny note about that since Chris brought it up. I just wrote down MGS3 Ocelot. Can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for Gru. Metal Gear Solid 2 Ocelot kills Gerlikovich, kills his own soldiers. Just like goes on a Russian killing rampage.
Oh yeah. That's like a totally different time. Like a lot of stuff happens to Ocelot
Tons
between then
between
and
them.
now. So this is like, yeah, I think it's an interesting juxtaposition because we're presented with this Ocelot and it's made clear that it's a significantly different character. Yeah. No, that's a great point, Tori.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's a great fucking point.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before. Wow.
But Ocelot's here to stop you, basically.
He is.
He's like, you can't take that boy. He's our boy. And we need
He is our
him.
boy.
To which Snake proceeds to absolutely body him and then strip him of his piece, tell him the way that he's holding it is not suitable for a semi-automatic pistol. It's much more akin to a revolver because the way that he's angling his hand is meant to absorb the recoil better. And this is the first time chronologically that we get you're pretty good. To which Ocelot is confused by, I think, right, in this moment.
Well, it's so funny.
Or he's like angry about it. Pretty good.
It's so funny because like up until like this point, Snake has been like the rookie and the greenhorn and is like the nerd who's making mistakes.
Yeah.
And then now Snake is like schooling Ocelot.
Yeah, there's like Gru major. You're like, oh god damn, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's calm down.
So I guess what I come away with considering that is like Snake is green, but he's not that green.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Not the
got
greenest.
experience under his belt.
Sure. I mean, he's a green beret.
He's not a full
he's-
blown weeb.
No. he's just kind of.
Yeah, just kind of. He likes anime.
He loves anime. He for sure
Yeah.
loves anime. But Snake does deal with him, and we get Sokolov, and we're like, all right, let's get out of here. And they get all the way back to the bridge, and they get past the bridge, and nothing bad happens, and then that's the end of the story.
Yep, Fulton
Such a
extracting,
good
Sokolov's
time.
out.
Extraction. Yep.
Man, why do you
no,
love this
obviously
game?
that. Yeah, I know it's amazing. It's just it's so short.
Yep.
It's quick. It's easy. Mwah.
Just a quick trot.
nice little stroll.
I do want to just make a quick note about the conversation that Snake and Sokolov have, though. And it just has to do with the game setting you up with Major Tom saying, oh, and tell Sokolov something for me. Tell him I'm sorry, I'm late. And then it's totally something that you think, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. But no, they bring it back. And then Snake goes, what does it mean? Like, what the fuck do you think it means, Snake? What?
He's saying sorry for basically selling you out to the Soviets, man.
There's
Like,
no subverted meaning there.
read
Open
between
your
the
ears.
lines.
So it means that he's a man of his word. It's just like some James Bond shit. It's like something James Bond would say when he walks into a room and be like, sorry, I'm late.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. It just felt like one of the game's pieces of bad writing. It was just, and maybe it was a localization thing, but more likely it was just a piece of bad writing, I think. You can at me if you want. I don't care. Do it.
No. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's exposition for sure. You know, like it's to fully just get it across.
Yeah, in case you didn't pay attention to that first half an hour of it.
Right. And just in case you didn't, you missed all of that. And like Chris said, I mean, this whole game is an homage to like old 60s and 70s spy films.
Yeah, and I'm with it on that. I like some of the motifs that they share, but that was not one in particular that I was a fan of.
Sure, I can completely understand that.
Yeah, do you want to... Can I play translator again real quick? When we get to...
for sure.
When we get to our bridge section here.
Yeah, which I think is next, right?
I mean, that's next. Yeah, like we get Sokolov to the bridge, and then who should show up but the boss, right?
Oh, yeah. What's she doing here?
It's a very good question.
Mom?
You think like, oh, yeah, Mom.
Ma!
Well,
Lois.
look, I just imagine like Snake pointing at Sokolov, like, Mom, can his mom said that it's okay for him to spend the night, but she said that you have to say that it's okay. Is that cool with you? And she's like, no, I'm going to kick your ass, break your arm, and then destroy your gun.
And then destroy you.
Yeah. The boss is like, all, good work, Jack.
Yeah.
Coming
This
in
is
here
like
with
really demoralizing. Like Snake's fully disarmed, both emotionally, mentally, and physically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This one hurts to watch in a lot of ways.
It's the fear that it's the is it the pain?
Are you talking about his line that he delivers?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Are you going to
Go
say
ahead.
it in the Pain's voice?
No, please go ahead.
Oh, for real? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just noted this as being my fucking favorite one. This is just such a good line. Looks like the new blood has been rejected. And it just seems like such a fucking thing he would say after you get to know him a little later.
Yeah. And
well, is it the pain that brings him up with the bees?
Yeah, that should be, because that's the Pain's thing.
So there's a bunch of like bees and hornets, and Snake's like, hornets. And there's like a man, there's a guy in a helicopter, and there's a bunch he's riding a cloud of bees, and he carries Sokolov into the helicopter. So there's like a cloud of bees, hornets.
It's absolute Mickey Mouse bullshit what's going on right now. Like literally everything. We've got a dude with Gene Simmons' tongue times 5 making weird statements. You've got a bug man who is picking up another man. For some reason there's a cosmonaut in there and a very old man.
A very old bug-eyed man with a parrot.
And by the way, all of these people are talking down to the boss like there's not a fucking whirring helicopter that they're inside.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the quietest helicopter known to man.
And they're carrying a conversation out with the boss. Like,
are there 2 helicopters here?
Yeah, because Volgan and the rest of them seem to be in a different one.
Volgan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Volgan.
Yeah, we've got some other stuff to talk about. For
you
sure.
want to know if that's in Russian?
Yeah, of course.
What is
you really
assume something lightning?
You really want to know?
Actually, yes. I'm sure I'm wrong.
Oh, let's hear it.
You're really wrong, actually.
What is it?
Okay. So Volgan is like a surname that's common for people who are from Volga, which is kind of like a state. If you the equivalent of a state or a region in
so
Russia.
It'd be like it's like me being named like Tennessee.
Or like from this place.
So Tennesseean or something like that.
Yes, exactly. So Volga is named this because of, or Volgograd is what it's called, which is Volga City, is named after Volgan, right?
Okay.
So the Volga River, and Volga in Russia means moist.
Oh, I hate it.
So Volgan is of the moisture.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. Oh God, I hate it. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. I hate. Oh, well, hold on.
Of the moisture comes the lightning.
Shut
Oh, wow.
up.
I just need you guys to know that I got booted from the call for a minute and I came back to of the moisture.
Oh. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much because I know. Oh, okay. I want to take a sip real quick.
You sound like
take a
you're
sip.
like you sound like you've got some stomach acid just right at the surface and you're trying to keep it down.
It's there. So, Mr. of the Vulcan.
What's his first line, Cole?
Kuwabara.
That's pretty good Vulcan.
I wasn't trying.
Yeah.
I think I'm just mentally drained from learning that. Everything else you said, like your translations have been a joy.
Yeah. I
want you to understand that.
So let me pepper a good one in. This one's a good one.
This one's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. But you that had to be on air, huh?
Yeah,
right?
it really did. Yeah. We get it. We owe it to our Patreons. We owe it to our listeners.
What do you owe me, Chris?
I owe you nothing, Cole. You can't handle this.
No shit. Kuwabara.
Kuwabara is a Japanese phrase, actually. So I guess like they just stopped giving a fuck about trying to do stuff in Russian at this point. But Kuwabara.
Singer like Vulcan.
Moisture Man. Is so Kuwabara is a phrase used in Japanese language to ward off lightning. It's analogous to the English phrase knock on wood to prevent bad luck. The word Kuwabara literally means mulberry field. And according to one explanation, there's a Chinese legend that mulberry trees are not struck by lightning. I don't know if that's true.
I can't imagine.
If you're listening to this and you're in a lightning storm and there's a mulberry tree and you think, oh yeah, Melger Mondays, Kuwabara, and you run into that, you cannot hold us liable. That's not how that works.
We're not advising you to
get as
run
low
to a
as you
mulberry
can
tree.
out of the storm.
Get in your basement. Get in your basement.
Hide your kids.
Yeah.
Hide your wife.
Because there's striking mulberry fields all around you.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Vulcan.
I don't know anymore.
We're talking about these helicopters and these weird dudes having a conversation with the boss on the bridge, and she's got this suitcase, like she's packed up, ready to fucking leave us forever. She's leaving.
She's going out to get that last pack of cigarettes.
Yes, she is, and her new daddy has walked in.
Oh God!
While her old daddy is like crying blood for everybody.
Next to her.
He said, "Well, you do the voice, Tori.
Wait.
You do the voice so good."
Oh, do I? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me channel Lori Allen. It's raining blood. Could it be? Right? Is that it?
That's actually
That's
really
so good. Yeah.
That's really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The boss basically tells you, hey, so it's been real. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a great time here.
You can't come with
fun
us, Jack.
story. I'm defecting. Meet your new dad.
Yeah. And Sokolov is my little gifts.
Yep. To my new family. And then this is just a little something extra.
Yeah.
I just got a note right here. I hope you guys have noticed this because I can't unnotice it ever. Snake's entire body spaz when he says, "This can't be happening."
Oh yeah, where he's like, yeah. It's like some old school video game move that he's doing.
Bends his entire half downwards. This can't be happening.
Yeah. It reminds me of like some of the animations that the characters in like Ocarina of Time had when you were talking to them, like the Happy Mask, or like the person that was like sitting and like clapping the whole time. Kind of that like weird type of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off there, Cole.
No.
It makes me laugh every time.
Basically, you're being told in this moment, despite your best efforts, you have failed.
Yeah.
The boss has fully pulled one over on you, and before she just does you in and leaves you to the fishes, she pulls some CQC shit on you. Snake grabs her bandana, rips it off as she throws him off of this bridge. Goes with Volgan. I'm not going to be able to say that name anymore without getting a weird chill. Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't like that.
And the whole new family gets in the helicopter. They take off, and Volgan decides to check out the new goods. And he's basically got a portable missile launcher that can fire what is essentially a small nuclear warhead.
It's Davy Crockett.
Yep.
Davy
Crockett.
The king of the wild frontier.
And he is definitely the king of the wild frontier because he decides to erase all traces of anything that had happened with Sokolov's research and fully glasses this entire forest with Snake falling down a river.
Oh yeah, so this is where we were going to talk about the healing mechanics too, because just before this...
So this is like where paramedic chimes in, right?
Yeah.
Yes. She explains to you that you basically have to perform field surgery on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have broken ribs, you have a broken arm, you're cut. So you have to go into your menu, and then you can take you can eat different things to raise your HP, but you can only get to a certain point before you can heal back to full health.
Yeah.
So you have to actually perform surgery, which is, you have to clean the wound. If you have bullets, you have to get those out of you. If you have broken bones, you have to reset those bones. You have to put splints on. And this all sounds really taxing, and it can be, but it forces you as a player to rethink your approaches. And I love that.
Yeah, it really engages you on kind of a role playing level of like, you feel you get to like feel, you get to simulate what it's like to sneak through the forest and like burn leeches off of you with your cigar and wrap your bandages and use a splint and all that stuff.
I love those little,
so cool.
The little video clips they give you too when you, for example, when you do burn off a leech from you for the first time, or the first time you eat a snake. I like those little clips that they have playing.
Yeah, it does what many games I think do not do. And instead of like trying to recreate the experience exactly as it is, like what it would be like to burn those cigars off of you. Like imagine if it was some sort of stupid mini game where you had to move the cigar around and like burn the leech or whatever. But it's an analogous system to the kind of feeling that you would get from doing the thing, just enough to put you in like a situation where you identify with this character more.
Right.
Sure.
And the other thing I appreciate about this healing system is it doesn't give you an unlimited supply of the things you need. So if you're relying a little too heavily on that, you have to stop and say, okay, which of these things can I do without? Can I afford to heal this right now? Or do I need to go get some more, I don't know, life medicine, for example?
Yeah. Can I go back through this swamp again? Because I'm kind of low on health right now, but I need to get that health item so I can heal myself.
I mean, it's just so cool. It's just it's just another thing about this game that made me fall in love with it when I was a kid, and I still love it.
Yeah.
As a 27-year-old now.
Right.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is just going to end up being like a love letter to Metal Gear Solid 3.
It might be, but that's
Unless
a good way,
for love, for the most
good way to
part.
start us out, right?
Yeah. Alessio's in the Discord like, I can't believe I gave my show to these Metal Gear Solid 3 loving freaks. Alessio, we love you. And Metal Gear Solid 2 is amazing. You know,
Yes.
It's not
we're
as
not.
good as Metal Gear Solid 3.
It's just not as good as 3. I mean,
We love all of our Metal Gear children equally, except 5.
I love 3 a little bit more than I love all of them. Like 3 I knew was going to Harvard, and 2 could probably go to like a nice school. 5's community college is probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
If Harvard is the bar, is the top bar, I'm just saying. I mean, there's not a lot of funds left.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I have a family to raise.
Well,
You're gonna be a
okay.
great dad, Cole.
I'm just saying.
I want to talk about one more thing before we officially wrap this up. Because
Yeah, of course.
I would kick myself if I didn't.
Okay.
This is the introduction of a certain femme fatale, guys. It's the one you know and love.
Oh, Eva.
Tatiana.
Yes.
/ Eva.
Yeah.
We don't actually find out what her name is at this point, but
Right.
I just, right from the get-go, she, and I'll fucking quote Volgan here, she's got spunk.
Is that Sokolov's woman? Yeah. It's kind of creepy, and it kind of this moment, the way that like Volgan is just all showy with his electricity around her is like a little kind of rapey to me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Everything Volgan does is kind of rapey.
Oh,
for sure,
man,
for sure.
I can't wait till we get to like the end base and we talk about that, because
Yes.
that's gonna be
real weird.
that's gonna get
Volgan's
rough.
a freak.
Yeah,
Okay,
he is.
he needs to be
Big
put
freak.
down.
But Eva
Big
puts
freak.
up with it, and she handles him. Not only does she put up with him, but she handles him.
For
and
real.
that's what makes her so badass. So she, the first thing she does is pull out a little lipstick container, what looks like a lipstick container, but you can see it's got a little hole for a bullet to eject from.
Yeah.
And that's when he says, she's got spunk, or however his Volgan voice goes.
Oh, yeah.
I obviously can't do a Volgan. But, yeah, couldn't not talk about her this episode, because this is the first time we get to see her.
We see her face, and it's an important face that we need to remember. And it's weird that like Ocelot also has this like weird kind of like, he's giving her some looks, you know? And I think that
maybe for reasons we'll find out later.
Maybe we'll find out next time.
But that was the Virtuous Mission. That is where it ends. It ends in failure, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, how do they get Snake out? I don't think they ever say. Is Snake gonna Fulton himself?
I think they do touch on that at the beginning, the first cutscene of the next part.
Okay. Word.
But yeah, that's the end of the Virtuous Mission. Thank you so much for listening to it. Guys, thanks for being on here and talking about it.
Thank you,
Oh,
Cole.
you know it.
If you want to keep up with us, please go ahead and hit subscribe with any of your podcast platforms. We're on iTunes, Spotify, all the big ones. Please, if you like this, give us a rating. It really helps us to be seen with the algorithm. MetalGearMondays.com is the website that has all of our socials on it. If you want to follow us and give us a like on Facebook, that's Metal Gear Mondays. I believe we've changed the name to Metal Gear Mondays Revengeance. Chris, is that correct? Is that official now?
No, all the social
Is it
media
still
handles
just-
are the same.
Great, perfect. So that's Metal Gear Mondays on Facebook. That's Metal Gear Monday on Twitter. That'll be Metal Gear Mondays as well on Instagram. Go ahead and give us a like there. bit.ly/MGM store if you want to go grab some sweet merch. Once again, Metal Gear Monday is on Patreon. If you want to subscribe at literally just $1, that will get you into our Discord where you can hang out and talk to all of us, as well as some of the old hosts, and a plethora of other people who are just like you, who are amazing and that we love. We're doing a lot of cool stuff in there. Tori.
Yes, sir.
Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Steam, the Discord. I think that rounds them up, all under the name Young Neil. That's YNGNEIL. Yep.
Very nice. Chris.
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
What's up?
On the internet.
You can find me in the Patreon Discord most of the time. You can find me at Chris Hampton II on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and LinkedIn. Proto Dude on the Xbox and the PlayStation. I live in Nashville. If you're in the area, just say hi. I don't know. Seems like there's a lot of Metal Gear people in Tennessee, so shout out to that.
Yeah, shouts out to the Tennessee Metal Gear fandom.
Yeah, for real.
We're definitely here for it.
I've got my one friend in Kansas. What up, Mr. Croaks?
Hey, big shouts out to Croaks. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
I'm so glad I'm not the only Kansan anymore, man. You have no idea.
And you can find me on the internet on Instagram at Subterranean Homesick Brews, on Twitter at I am Cole Duncan. Same thing with PSN, I am Cole Duncan, and of course I'm on Facebook as well if you want to pop in and chat with me there. Thank you all so much for listening. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
With that little reveal there at the end, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
That one took a lot out of me, all right?
Yeah?
Yeah. That one took a lot.
You talking about our boy?
Yeah, I'm talking about our boy.
Okay.
So I think I'm probably going to go grab a beer out of the fridge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna take a bottle opener. I'm gonna pop the top, and then I'm just gonna let it rip. I mean, I did not need to know that. I really didn't.
Oh, now you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go let it rip real quick. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh God. Good night, everyone.